𝙎𝙘𝙡𝙗, 𝙎𝙘𝙡𝙗, 𝙎𝙘𝙡𝙗. Grand greetings and abundant blessings to us all. I definitely go by Baba Lex. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a Friday Eve. We were about to teach. I'm excited. We've just had some technical difficulties as per usual coming on when we're teaching this subject tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, on this Friday, okay, May, while I'm just organizing this thing, it's such a trip, guys. Just give me a second. Okay. It is Friday, the 30th of May. Where has the time gone? Where does the time go? Is what I'm asking. Okay. See, we're getting somewhere. Okay, give us a second. Boom, boom, boom. Organic 5D versus artificial 5G. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the building. I am Baba Lex. I am a holistic health coach, and also the rest of the description is in the description as you come in. Please continue to share. I do see the Lighthouse Portal all the way from Maui, Hawaii. This is also where my first book, The Law of Attunement Teachings, book 1, and also subsequent books. We're looking up to book 3. However, with this energy, we should, maybe go further. Okay, so just give us a second. We almost got this. Wow. Oh, my goodness, man. You see? See? This thing's playing with Baba Lex. Listen. 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 Okay, just give us a second while y'all trickling in and sharing. I'm just situating this face of mine. Man, wow. Boom. I got him. Okay, boom. You know what? This thing really wants to be a circle. I'm going to let you be a circle. Wow, stop it. You really need to stop it. Boom! On a gas, boy. No brakes. Hey, yo! Baba Lex is in the building. Shout out, is that fine? Mic check, everything cool? Okay, cool. I'm not going to trim that. We love the bloopers. Y'all guys call it bloopers. This is part of life because life is lifing. Okay, this is organic. Artificial, what does that mean? We're going to find out tonight. Thank you, the Lighthouse Portal 7.11. All the way from Maui, Hawaii. We're so excited for this evening's teachings. Okay, this is the prototype of my first book, The Law of Attunement Teachings. All right. If you go onto my YouTube channel at 𝙒𝙗𝙗𝙧𝙗𝙗, you'll be able to see all of the subsequent teachings, which are pretty much, they're a stepping stone into the Law of Attunement Teachings. Okay. This book is amazing. Someone asked me today when I was, doing my coaching outside, physical coaching, what is this book actually? Obviously, this is the prototype, but what is the Law of Attunement? The Law of Attunement Teachings are teachings about you, okay? It's teaching you about how to interact with yourself, because what is the aim of us being here after all right? And as you know, if this is your first time tuning in for my teachings on the Friday evening, all the way from Mzansi, South Africa, please get out your pen and pad. As you know, Baba Lex puts these on the replay on my YouTube channel at 𝙒𝙗𝙗𝙧𝙗𝙗. However, tonight, as you can see, organic 5D versus artificial 5G. Guys, what's the difference? Y'all have no idea, guys. Okay? What's the difference? Organic 5D versus artificial 5G. Boom. Here's the notes. Okay, as you can see, Baba Lex doesn't steal anyone's information. This is my information. However, if I'm referencing a point from anywhere else, I will let you know where that's coming from, whether that be a book, whether that be a excerpt, whether that can be someone's mouth out of the corner of their neck, whatever it may be. Okay, we explain so that you can go and continue to do your research. So, as you know, we're already, that was the intro, by the way. So, as you know, this is now housekeeping. We got my moderator in the house. For those of you who are misbehaved, there's no if, and, or but what. You get chopped out. We're here to learn. You're going to learn something today. I know there's a lot of beings who come in here live when we teach, especially last year, 2024, who, you know, only after seeing the replay, because I made examples in real time, they started to follow. Okay, but it's not about following someone. If there was something where there's a button where you could say learn, I would be learning from people online, because this is the choice we have between organic 5D and artificial 5G. All right, swipe to see some comments. If we have some comments, some questions, my moderator in the room is definitely going to, okay, I'm not going to touch anything. It's going to mess up the whole design. My moderator is going to definitely pin those questions. I will answer them as best as I can as I'm teaching. But once again, we have already the format. All right. Once again, the date is the 30th of May on Friday, 2025 on this Gregorian calendar. Where's the time going? I'm asking you. Where's the time going? So if you guys feel like I'm a little bit skewed, it's the screen. So if I touch it, it's going to act funny. It's one of these ones, okay? It's one of these things. See? Right? Behave yourself. Right. Right. The Lighthouse Portal, how you feeling in Hawaii today? It's a Friday, okay? The solar energy has been doing a lot of beautiful things. To those of you who have also asked questions as to all of the sort of sicknesses you're getting, okay? UVA, UVB, UVC solar radiation. UVC solar radiation is a germ killer, a detoxifier, and a mutating wavelength of energy. It's mutating the DNA. And also, especially in today's episode, today's teachings, okay, organic 5D versus artificial 5G, notice the colors. Huh? Notice the colors there. Yep, on purpose. However, I couldn't really find a red. However, this will make sense in terms of chakras. Okay? So let's make this red, okay? This is red. This is green. Just to keep that there for those of you who are higher conscious, what does red and green make? I'm going to give you a little hint. Not my tattoo, not water, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? So what I'm saying before we even kick off into the meat is that both are necessary and both are a product of us. Whether you find it negative or positive, that doesn't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have any bearing. Okay, but we're going to get into it, right? So once again, if you into your, you know, if you're one of those studious beings, please do get out your pen and pad, because this information, what you're going to do is you're going to go and continue and do your own research. Take this information, you put it in your formation, run it through your grid, all right? Your chakras, your organs. Check out the teachings if you're confused. But once you put this information through your waters, you'll be able to assimilate it, okay? Water carries information, memory, all right? So just before we continue, in housekeeping, see, I always have to shoot off because I'm excited for these teachings, because this is quite powerful tonight. But this is just last night we had to do a quick live for about 20 minutes. I put the replay on TikTok here. I will put the replay onto my YouTube channel, but we spoke out as Conscious Men Community, okay, against the killing of Oroti or olorato mongale. All right. And so what information I got today, or what's also on the news that's available, is that her killer was in a shootout with police in KZN. You cannot make this shit up. So he's gone now also. So this is in the space of days, a week. Okay, because she turned up, they found her already unalived on Monday. Today is the information. If it wasn't last night, it was maybe this rising. You see? So within like this space, it's already concluded. So you can go and check that out. What we're saying is the conscious men community is, you know, it's not about what we feel, actually. It's more about the families, those involved. You know, we just send out our condolences and our love, our energy of support. And also, this is why we created the Conscious Men community, for things like this. Because once again, there's those of you who ask about, what the men are doing. Here it is. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok is doing that weird thing again. Wow. And also you can purchase these shirts, these t-shirts. They are muscle tops for the gents. There's no ladies tops, but ladies, you can also purchase them for your men. You know what I mean? Small, medium, large, extra large. And then there's going to be exceptions, because I know there's some large gents available. All right, there's some XXX, there's some 4X gents available, you know, boom, 5X. So we can make provisions for that, because once again, these are muscle tees. These are tight fit. It's beautiful stuff, quality, but also it's not just about that, it's about the message. Okay, I'm not going to take this off now, but it is conscious men actively against child abuse and gender-based violence / femicide. That's what the F means. So we also learned about that. You see what I'm saying? So we just saying to Orotile's, Olorato's family, that we are just sending our condolences, and we are planning also, on that same note, for Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up on the 15th of June, but also on the 16th of June in South Africa. It is Youth Day. So we are actually in the final stages of releasing information about a father-son, father-uncles, sons, you know, nephews sort of gathering. All right. We did want to include hiking, but there's also been a lot of tragedies at our favorite hiking space, which is at 𝙎𝙗𝙗. And there's also been some wild stuff happening at 𝙎𝙗𝙗, you know what I mean? So we don't want to be doing anything of such a higher power nature in places where negative things are taking place. You see? All right. So shout out to everybody who's supporting the Conscious Men community, because once again, when I started in 2020, nobody, crickets. But once again, until, you know, your sister, mother, girlfriend, auntie, grandmother is affected, then you see what I'm saying? So before it gets there, which is now the real pandemic. So this is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Shout out all the way from South Africa. This is the Conscious Men community, and also to the gents who are coming on board, coming online. I see you. And, you know, we're excited for the future. Let's continue. All right. So in terms of us jumping into organic 5D versus artificial 5G, where are you guys tuning in from? And also, where do you guys stand? Huh? Are you even confused? No? Do you know what's happening? Anybody? And Lighthouse Portal, you can't say anything, because I know you know exactly what's going for what. Okay, so we're going to kick off here with, as you know, foundation. So foundation is the definitions. Let's define what we're talking about. Let's compare the apples with the apples, not the apples with a pear. Example, see? Right. What is, number one, organic? What does organic mean? Take out your dictionary even on Google or whatever the case may be. Is that baked goods? Shut up, baked goods. So goes that. All right, so organic. Even if you punch this into your Google over there, organic, relating and or derived from a living organism in terms of its chemistry, structure, makeup, the whole design. Okay? So organic is relating, a relative of, or derived from anything which is a living organism. Okay? It's alive. It's connected to consciousness, not breath, spirit. Okay? Consciousness, right? It's connected. It's alive. Right, we got that. So we know what organic means. Wonderful. All of us. Next, we say artificial. Huh? What does artificial mean? Huh? Let's get there. We go on Google quickly. Easy. Handcrafted and or man-made. Artificial is man-made. That is the definition. From the root artificium, which is Latin. Okay, so these things go back, but it comes into handcrafted. Okay, now 5D. 5D is 5 dimensions. That's it. Okay, in terms of the spiritual meaning, it is einity consciousness, unity consciousness. It is a unified field. It is non-dualistic. Okay? It is self-mastery. It's infinite bliss now. It's always now. Okay? Nowing. Present participle. You're continuing now. Right, you get it. 5D. Also 5 dimensions. If you want to try and explain it physically, okay, let's go 1 dimension. You've got, let's play a little bit. Where's a piece of paper? Let's play a little bit. Yeah. You get a clean piece of paper. Because this is how you start to stretch your mind when you play with consciousness. Okay, when we say play with yourself, you know what I mean? Whenever I'm coaching, some of y'all know when we say play with yourself, this is what we mean. See? Run it. Run it through you. Don't just, oh yeah, this book said yes, I'm going to, You get there, you find out it doesn't work, you're angry. You find out you were lied to. You bamboozled. Nah. When you're there, do your investigation right there. That's a conscious being. See? Okay. Okay. Let's play. Okay. Let me do this for you. Okay, 1D. Okay, 2D. 3D. How y'all feeling this evening? Huh? Okay. Wow, I might confuse a lot of people in this place. But you know what? Let's make it run. Let's make it run for playing sake. Wow. Shit. Okay. For argument's sake, here we go. Okay. One dimension, dot. Point. Two dimensions, length and breadth. Okay. Or a flat plane. That's why I drew a piece of paper there. See? So, first dimension or 1D, point. Two dimensions, length and breadth, or flat plane, surface. Okay? Then you've got 3D. 3D over here. Length, breadth, and height. Okay? If you're looking at it as in us, it's length, breadth, and height. And if you want to say, you can say depth. Instead of breadth, you can say depth. You see? You can near, far. See? Okay, high, low, up, down. See what I'm saying? And then, wow, shit, cuz 4D, dog. What? What's that? What's that? That's what you call a tesseract. A tesseract is a cube in a cube. So it's this in this. It's this in itself. However, if you want us to represent 4D here outside, 4D would be length, breadth, height, depth, so up, down, near, far, okay, and time. Yes? Because what do we do when we're having a good time? Time fly. Whoops. When you're having a bad time, time drags. What happened? The same amount of sun went by. Okay? But your experience or experience, both, was either condensed or expanded. That's fourth dimensional beingness. Okay, I put out a video about that on my TikTok. Check it out. Now it'll make more sense. How we becoming timeless. That's timelessness. Okay. Now 5D. I put a question mark. There's a question mark there for a reason. Because I want to ask a question. Okay? 5D. Now let's go for length, breadth, height, depth. Okay? That's 4. And then time. Okay? 4. Now 5. All of that plus what? People are scared to answer. What is 5D? Baba Lex is asking. This is a question I'm asking you now. I'm asking you now. Explain 5D. Sedella says, from tesseract to flower of life. Okay, you explained it in sacred geometry. That's beautiful. I'm saying explain it walking. Because we said, okay, we said up to 4D, right, is you'll get to 3D length, breadth, height. And then you get to 4D length, breadth, height. Okay, so let's say, yeah, 3D length, breadth, height. So depth, perception, right? And then, yes, and then 4D, you've got the length, breadth, height, depth, perception, distance, yes, and then time in 4, right? Time back and forth. Or, wait, can you go back and forth in time on the 4th? Physically, you cannot. But you can condense and expand time. When you're having a good time, time flies. Oh shit. Oh, DJ. DJ. Oh. One more. But when you're having a bad time, I need to go to court. My date is, wow. We're waiting for the government to deliver some electricity from 1994. uh, 5D simply is creating from now, knowing all of your multi-dimensional selves now. Remember, there's also a theory about across or inner earth, where the black sun, dark sun is housed, right? Remember, everything has an equal opposite on the 3rd dimensional plane. Okay? So what we are learning in 5D as opposed to 5G, because 5G is a longer wavelength, so it's a shorter wavelength, and they need more base stations because it loses its strength. It needs to connect to another repeater. Hence why you see, especially in the West, when it was, pandemic, okay? Whoops. They were putting up all of these towers and things, locking up schools. Yes. And then people started having radiation sickness, and then they blamed it on blame it the COVID loca. Huh? Come on. You see, because radiation sickness is also the same thing which the UVC radiation is going to bring out in people who are not well. Not just the mental health, not just the spiritual confusion. Okay, because everyone is looking for a savior. Not a savior. You're looking for yourself, or your higher self is calling you forth out of this illusion. You see? So this is the 5D, 5G split. People say 3D, 5D. No. Stop it. This is all now, number one, consciousness. Nothing physically, unless you yourself experience, then it's physical. In terms of the entire consciousness, what do you call it? Common consciousness? Collective consciousness? That really relies upon the most melanated beings to hold certain beliefs. Okay? Certain conditionings, certain dogmas and doctrines. Because guess what? They say that, what is this? NASA scientists and whatever, these clowns, and you know what NASA stands for? Just research. And also check the gematria. NASA it stands for deception. It means deception in Hebrew or something like that. Guys, come on. Come on. Okay? They're talking about, where did I put that? Anyway, you see now, so much information is flooding in now in my consciousness. But let me stay on track. Okay, so once again, we love to keep the structure of the foundation first, so we know all of these definitions. But now I've also given you pretty much where the split is. But once again, 5G, yes, technology will run quicker. Fine. Automated vehicles, fine. Maybe some e-robot, iRobot, fine. And then what? At what cost? Number one, off the cuff, job losses. So you are redundant. The more this 5G comes online, you becoming more redundant in terms of the system. You becoming a slave, not even a slave because you already are. You know what I mean? If you, none of my beeswax, but you need to do your shadow work. We're all born into this bondage, and the way out is either 5D or, yeah, the only way out is in, but that's 5D ascension. 5G is it's the smoke and mirrors. It's what they've been feeding you. But also, this is Agenda 2030. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Agenda 2030, just go check it out. Klaus Schwab was running that thing. The WEF, you see the World Economic Forum, WHO, okay? Zanindalo 108. How you feeling? The topic. Here it is. Organic 5D versus artificial 5G. Please read, guys. Thank you for joining. Get out your pen and pad. I told you this is going to explode you today. Okay? Focus, focus, focus. That's why I had to write the notes nice. Because otherwise, I'm also going to get sidetracked. There's so much. But also, I'm not going to overgive and overshare as per usual. Because it's happening. It's taking place. And the more you become aware, the more easier it will be for you to detach. See? Right. So, what we're going to get into now, since we have all the definitions, we know what organic means, we know what artificial means, we know what 5D means, we know what 5G means. Yes? Not versus grid. What is 5G? So 5G is fifth generational mobile communication. That's the actual on Google. Okay, so I also got the Google stuff here, guys, but you can also do your own. But once again, it's just a fifth generational bullshit, which is going to kill you. Once again, what it does to the cells, we'll get into that. That's what I said. At what cost? Remember, every time technology goes up, something organic goes down. There's mutations happening everywhere, but also they've been playing with DNA, not just our DNA. I mean, melanated women, black women, this is why a lot of things are going, you know what I'm saying? But if you know, you know. But this is why they're the most targeted. This is why the gender-based violence and also the disappearance is such a thing. It's going to come out now. I mean, look at whose trial is on. Look at what's coming out. I mean, the diddler. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. TikTok, don't flag me. Come on. Okay? You see, so now as these things are coming up, don't be shook. Don't shake. It's happening. But there's things which are more nefarious, things which are darker. All right? So the best thing you can do is illuminate yourself. Know thyself. Know thy cells and don't depend upon. So this is what 5G needs. It needs you to depend upon it. But once again, artificial means man-made, meaning handcrafted, which means someone made it. Who made artificial intelligence? Someone, people are going, Siri, what is it? What are these things called? Chat GPTs. Yo, why don't you tell me blah, blah? And then it gives you those answers. Guys, listen. Let me explain to you how it connects with you. Inside your brain, ikhanda lakho, in your dome, you have what you call the hippocampus, or the king's chamber. The hippocampus houses the pineal and the pituitary glands, respectively. So this is the king and the queen, respectively, is what is the allegory in the Bible. See? Once again, for those of you religious, I'm going to refer you to this. Please go and read these three things and then come back. Okay? The Council of Nicaea, do your research. Council of Nicaea, Bishop Eusebius, and then King Constantine. Please, go do your research nicely. You might need some tissues. You might need a half jack of some alcohol. You might need some... I'm playing. But you will be, if you're not ready, you will be shattered. All your shattered nerves. The illusion is fading. Unless you want to go for 5G and also you want to get more bushiris to fleece you. It's up to you. You know what I mean? At least you know that Baba Lex loved you enough to tell you the truth. Wow. Right. So we're going to go into the physical, mental, and spiritual implications of 5D and 5G. All right? Boom. Are you guys ready? Told you, grab a seat, take your water. Okay, you know we always on the structured water. Once again, Togozan, if you're new, if you're in fresh, this is organic 5D versus artificial 5G. This will also be on a replay on my YouTube channel at Lex Stays Liquid. Please subscribe, guys. Get Baba Lex to 1K. I was supposed to get there by December, but y'all are not ready. Wow, too much. Whoop, that guy's crazy until it happens. And then y'all look scrambling. What did he say, Gonja? Episode telling you, keep up with yourself or something else will. Togozan. Abundant blessings. Let's continue. So the physical, mental, and spiritual implications of 5G. Let me start with the worst ones. Let's start with the bottom. With the worst. Motherfuckers never loved us. Okay. First and foremost, we know what 5G is. If you don't know, just research. But it is the 5th generation of mobile communications. This is supposedly reaching up to speeds of, what did they say there? Let me just check my memory quickly. 1 gigabit per second or gigabits per second. Okay. And then it can connect up to 10 to 20 devices at speeds between 100 and 200 megabits per second at 5G. Right. So this is one above 4th generation 4G. So apparently it's 100 times more, right? In terms of its speed. But once again, it requires in terms of its physical structure a lot different than the normal 4G or 3G, right? Which is its towers. The towers need to be put every so close. I'm not too sure on the kilometers or the miles apart, but it's damn close. Because what it does is its wavelength is, it's very, the wavelength is very wide. Okay, it's very wide. So as opposed to okay, so this is a higher frequency. This is a lower frequency. Higher frequency, lower frequency. Okay, this is why when we say we're born into sin, we're born into a sine wave. This is not only a physical reality as you perceive, it's also an electromagnetic frequency bandwidth of information. You are born into sin on a plane. Hell, heel, helios. Helios, the sun. Heel, your heels touch hell, the ground, earth, soil. See? So, absolutely, anagrams, absolutely, Sedela, absolutely. So now, as we continue, not only is it a lower vibrational wavelength, it brings about lower vibrational states of being. Wow, simple. See? Lower vibrational states of being mean that you're hearing the brain fog, chats that aren't yours. Okay, you are easily infiltrated. This is also the same as easily persuaded, swayed. Bati oh, bati oh. You are not rooted, grounded, they say. See? It ungrounds you. Funny enough, it keeps you in your lower chakras. Red, orange, yellow. Why do you think most foods are red and yellow? Red triggers hunger. Red triggers hunger. It triggers excitement in the guts. And yellow is attention, and excitement and happiness. Oh, McDonald's, boom. Burger King, look at red, yellow there. Listen, Linda, Tyrone, pay attention. See, they play with the frequency bands. Woo, 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 woo. You hear, since you only hear, women wear red lipstick. The girl in the red dress. Matrix, Neo, you were looking at the girl in the red dress. See? When you know what to look for, 5D and 5G is very easy to distinguish. But once again, the 5G is what will lower you. Hence why the most time you spend on your phone, you start feeling illy. You can't sleep. Your rhythm's off, you insomnia, doom scrolling. Midnight. This color. Wow, I used to be there. You see? But also that coincides with what? Archons. You're more susceptible to archons, aka demons or lower entities, lower astral realm things. Okay, you go to sleep. You see, because now what's available in 5D energy, okay, because we're now in a fourth dimensional reality. We see how we're all bending time. We also see how it's already June number 1. What? Whoops, steady, steady. So you see, time is not flying. You are flying. Wait. This is how you master the third dimension. Everything's already inverted. So invert it. And then it will be close to normal. Okay. Not so dizzy. Not so confusing. See? Simple. Now, archons, entities, demons, or lower energies, especially in the astral, we enter the dream space. This is why a lot of y'all in your dream space, if you're not cleansed, you come across the paralysis. Starting to see shadow things. You see? What you see outside is because it's inside you. What did he just say? Enter parasites. A parasite just entered the chat. Don't kill the messenger. Kill the parasite. Wow. I need to take some water for that one. Because, wow. You see, everything in this reality replicates itself. You see, as above, so below, as within, so without, for sure. Universe is just you in verse. You notice how you start to clean yourself up? All of a sudden, your life becomes a little bit better. Less drama. Clean up that person who always complains, that drama over there. You start eating maybe a little bit fruits. You don't know what you're doing, but you just start cleaning up nice. Maybe in the gym a little bit jogging. Starting to take yourself seriously. And then you notice, wow, it's not so chaotic. Okay? Yes, the tale of two minds, 𝙎𝙘𝙡𝙗, for sure. That's the mastering of the duality. That's what we have to do. In order to unify, you must master the mind. This is the dual nature. Masculine, feminine. But it's once you unify them, here, they meet here. Okay? Once you, obviously, you must aliven the one which is more switched off. Usually it's the right side, or the right hemisphere. Okay? Which is linked to the feminine energetic, feminine principle, negative charge, okay, negative ions, magnetic energy. So this is what's happening with the sun. It's bringing out more magnetic energy. The more magnetic energy comes in, 5G also is going to start to fail. That's why they're going to need to put so many repeaters. Magnetic energy is a healer to those with a soul. The more melanin you have as well, the more you can assimilate that. The more you work with the melanin you have by cleaning yourself up and also admitting where you are at fault, where your DNA comes from, and also where you're at. It's a whole decolonization, everybody. Otherwise, you cannot pass. It's a gate of frequency. It's not physical. Your body physical will give up before you can even touch anywhere near there. You won't see any solar flash. The solar flash will be you next lifetime. Somewhere else, elsewhere, 3D again. Wow, you start again. Oh shit. Not me. No, it's very simple. All you do is make a selection amongst all of these choices, because these choices is just a game. That is what is fun, once you know what you're doing, because then you don't make any more idiot selections. Then you don't put yourself through trauma. Wow. This might be too much for those of you who are still very traumatized. So this is not for those who are still in healing. This is for those of you in a consciousness space where you are either at a neutral space or you are in the positive balance of your healing. Okay, because no one's going to heal you. No one's going to do it for you. Like my sister 𝙎𝙘𝙡𝙗 said in her live today. Okay, you have to do your own healing. You must. It's a prerequisite. You have to take yourself on. You must be a present participle in your own life. Participate in your own life. We haven't been participating in our own lives, and then we complain when it doesn't go right. Huh? Why? What? Huh? There's no accountability. You see, when there's no accountability, that means that anything sway. The wind blows, you go that way. Your roots are not in. You depend upon. We all do, until we decolonize. I had to also. I was working for, they used to say, working for the man. That's the fucking colonizer. That's it. Simple. Because a colonizer, as we defined, what does colonization mean? This is from the actual, you know what I mean? Colonization is the action and or process of settling among and establishing control over indigenous people of a land. So what we added was not just of a land physical, the mental land, the spiritual land. The action and or process of settling among and establishing control over indigenous people of a land. Wow. Whoop. Wow. I also got this teachings on my YouTube channel. This was decolonization of the poor African body, mind, and spirit. You see, so this colonization is not a, it's not a physical person only. Okay, you have to know this. It's also an entity. It's an entity which Dropbox things and then doesn't have to be there. It lets you continue. You fuck yourself up. Enjoy. It just Dropboxed whatever bullshit, religions, look a bit monetary system, look a bit whatever the fuck it is. Boom. That makes life so quote unquote painful. And then it just coast up wherever. And it eats the energy. Sick. That's that Diddy shit. No Diddy. It's just on the corner scoping and enjoying itself. Wild stuff. But it's really a thing. You see, so energetically, 5G usurp your energy. Okay? The archons and parasites are, they're like this. They bedmates. If not, they direct conduits. See? Because what is a parasite? A parasite is an entity which requires a host for life force or to live, right? We also did this live. It's on the YouTube channel, for sure. So if it's parasitical, it also demands or commands control over the organism. So colonization demands control over living organisms. So in other words, this is an entity parasite. It's an archon. Those of you who want to throw names, Baal, Baal, 𝘎𝙬𝙝, Baphomet, Lucifer, I'm going to throw in Jesus Christ, yes, that, because Lucifer means what? Light bearer. Jesus Christ means risen son, anointed one, Christos. If you're talking about that story, because it's just a story. Okay? Also, the Caucasoid descended from the Caucasus Mountains just thousands of years ago. How was this guy enlightened? No. Manipulation and the way the energy was set up. Remember, a soul thrives under a magnetic sun. What took place? Ozone layer. Ozone layer and a magnetic protector, which means a veil. So when we have all of this magical stuff available, which we're not able to see, including the colors, the frequencies, why weren't we able to see this? Why weren't we able to see these ships going, these lights at night just... Those of you with the eye to see know what I'm saying. I'm not saying Starlink and oh blah blah. No, you know what I'm saying. Our other cosmic family. Ancient, melanin, black hole. Also, they call it junk DNA. It's melanin, right? So once you tap into your own DNA by first, number one, selecting 5D, organic. Remove your parasites. I thought this was crazy also until I did it myself on my awakening journey. And then now, obviously, with the coaching, we have, what do we have available again? We have the clove tincture. We have the oil of oregano. We got the frankincense tincture. Wonderful. That thing's beautiful. What else do we have on the other side there? We have a sage tincture. Powerful. You see, what we're going for is anything that's termed in terms of the herbal side, if you're very dizzy, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, which is also misnomers, but I'm just giving you a pointer. Like Sister Sedella said in her live today, take these teas, put it in your teas. Ginger, amazing, anti-inflammatory. Lemon, amazing, anti-inflammatory. Mix and match. You can throw in your cloves in there. Okay, but also when you're starting your parasite cleansing, take also papaya seeds with the papaya. Don't crunch the seeds. Keep it solid because it has a magnetic pull. If you crunch the seeds, it's going to lose the charge. So it attracts these other parasites. You see? And then take things like diatomaceous earth, activated charcoal. Abo mama, they just clay, like clay. You know that clay from Emakayen, you know, with the minerals in it. Yes, that's diatomaceous earth. You know these, you know what I mean? Supremacy, just confusing us. It's our shits. What that does is it binds to the eggs. Whenever these things are under attack inside you, what would you do if you were under attack? You release your babies. Go, 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 go. So this is what the parasites do. See? So what the binders do is they capture the eggs as well. And also the little, the fledglings, the young ones, which can maybe, you know, survive in maybe small crevices or tinier spaces. See? Once you remove parasites, oh, just board game open now. Because you stop having cravings, you stop having brain fog, you stop having small little things, but then add more health in terms of fasting. So less is more. Okay? I'm not saying go and buy stuff. That's the misnomer. Release stuff. Get yourself to having one meal a day. And you can have your meal in one setting, but you can give yourself space. Maybe eat in an hour. Chew consciously. Maybe you put on a frequency of sound. Okay? You're not watching Housewives of not watching drama. Because when we chew and it goes here, your emotions already are putting it somewhere. That's why certain foods are linked to certain areas of your body and certain cravings. They're locked with trauma. Similar to someone who is overweight. Okay? Someone who's overweight, they say they've let themselves go. Let me show you what that means energetically. Because that person is probably eating chocolates and ice cream, you know, at night. That's a substitute for love. There's no love. You're not receiving love. Abandonment. See, so it's mental, spiritual, physical. Bam. That's the manifestation of it. You see? Once you come to terms with the fact of the matters of what it is, you yourself will, this won't even be a question to select between 5D and 5G. Okay? Fear is a big thing, which is religion is a big thing when it comes to 5G and fear. Okay, because now there's even ATMs in churches. There's ATMs in churches, and also there's speed points. There's you know those 𝙃𝙚𝙗𝙖 machines. Those card things. Wild stuff in churches. Okay, they're also doing pyramid schemes out there. They're doing forex. They're doing investments. Wow. Okay, there's a lot of attachments in a 5G reality. Okay, that's what we have to do if we're ascending. Let go of attachments, things that keep you binded to physicality. Remember, we came in spirit, mind, vessel, physicality. When you're deprogramming or unlearning and connecting to your higher self, first you start with the physical, then you go mental, then spirituality. But spirituality, number one, just drop any religion. I'm letting you know, because you're relying upon something that's not coming. If it's coming, it's most likely already here, and it's been here, and it's not who you think. None of my beeswax. Okay, you can cry yourself a river. In terms of certain diseases, remember 5G also brings out radiation sickness. Radiation sickness will look like the COVID symptoms. This is for entertainment and education purposes only. Okay, it will look like those symptoms. Just search there, radiation poisoning, and see where you can get it from. You can get it from 5G, but also equally naturally from the sun. Should your temple, in between two temples, boom, Golgotha, skull, Calvary, where Christ is crucified, which is at pineal gland. If you're not crucifying your own anointing of your second coming, then nothing is coming. You have to second coming within yourself and your cells. You must rise. And then now the test is to hold a high vibration while it's such. We're actually in hell on earth. This is hell right here. Tell me I'm lying, someone. Please. Tell me. You know what I mean? This is why we're seeing such atrocities, but not seeing it for the first time. It's been taking place. Just follow that 𝙎𝙚𝙗𝙧𝙀 trial if you're not awake. I wouldn't follow it because I can tell you exactly what's going to take place. Not here though. But once again, it's all about you, the individual, to make a selection of all of these choices. All right? So, in short, 5G leads to death. So guys, 5D. This is the physical, mental, and spiritual implications of 5D. Number one, first and foremost, ascension. Okay? There's going to be changes in our DNA, changes in our blood crystal, changes in our skulls. Okay? The prefrontal cortex is going to enlarge. So this prefrontal lobe here is going to become bigger foreheads. Okay? Because we're no more in the amygdala, in the animal or infantile brain. See? We're no more thinking like an animal, or in the lower three chakras. Okay. Our neurons are going to change, the way we perceive. So this is what takes place in this ascension consciousness into 5D. What's going to be taking place with some of y'all over there, you can make a comment if you'd like, but your dreams are not only going to become more vivid, but you will walk your dream. And I don't mean like millionaire, relax. I mean as in, wow, I had a deja day about this, a deja vu, a deja week. Over here we say strong, not a week. Because in the weekdays you get dazed, by the weekend you're weakened. So this is what some of these experiences are when our DNA starts to reconfigure. But guess what? When you say you have 3-strand DNA, it's also linked to your chakras, right? Because if I say to you you're a 3-strand DNA being, it means that you live solely from your 3 chakras, okay? Which means solely that you are animalistic. You're a beast. That is what human being, go check the etymology. Human being, so punch it in there right now, please. You know what? Let me do it for you. Human being. Punch in human being, it means beast. So this is etymology.org. Was it .online? Yeah, etym online. All right. Punch in human being. Let me punch it in here for you. Okay. Trending. #1, pajamas. Wow. Wow. See, I'm even now forgot what I'm Wow. Wow. The consciousness outside there is wild. It's very low. Okay. This thing's taking time to come up, but please search human being. The actual root of human being means beast. So in other words, it's speaking to your sinly nature. It's born in sin, born in the sine wave, right? So since we're born in the sine wave, we are bound by belief. In between belief, there's the lie, right? So if you believe in the lie, you will believe that sin is your eternal hell. Okay, you must atone for, or someone died for your sins, but then they resurrected, and then what? So if someone dies for your sins, according to the Bible, that means that you're clean, right? But then they come back and take your shit. They take your blessings. That's exactly what that story means. Why don't you stay dead? You feel me? Because consciously doesn't make any sense. To a conscious being, that smells like a lot of bullshit. It smells like you're spinning stories. It smells like you're trying to control someone's mind space, mentality, or their spirituality, their breath, right? That's what spirit means. To spiral, respira, to respire, to breathe. Once you're in control of your breath, you bring your thoughts to your prefrontal cortex, to your frontal lobe. This is why they say take a breath. Don't be reactionary. What takes place is you bring your consciousness from the back animal brain, also from your lower chakras. Notice how the breath and also simultaneously the forward movement, okay, of the energy. If you had to probably do a brain graph or brain gram of that frequency energy of what was taking place, you would see the energy shift, or the colors just move to the front here. Boom. This is where consciousness takes place, because you make conscious decisions. That's why they say think twice. Think twice, 'cause it's another day for you. You see? But once again, you have to now become conscious of these triggers. Okay? Everything outside is a trigger finger. But funny enough, you are the one who's holding the trigger. That's why they say triggered. It's the charge inside you. What happens if you don't let go of charge? What happens if a charge builds up and you don't let it go? Short circuit. When you build up a charge and you don't let it continue flowing, you short circuit. So this is also what's happening mentally, spiritually. There's a lot of short circuiting, and in the vessel, via the frequencies we are taking in. We're building up a negative, not a positive charge, because a negative charge is beneficial. This is now the equal opposite, the inverse, because also negative ions are magnetic energy. It's feminine energy. Okay, when they say divine feminine is rising, it's feminine energetics. It's magnetic energy. The magnetosphere is off, or it's switching off. Do you know what that means? If you have a soul and also you're cleansed and you are ready, you're ready to receive these codes of a higher frequency, to ascend, to now start to see, not only see, to experience, therefore experience. Remember, you inverse, universe. You now not only see different colors or frequencies, you have different realities. You can be next to someone here, they're going through the worst. Not because I'm saying, right? Everyone makes choices and selections. You could have maybe come up in the same school, blah, 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 whatever the case, same scenarios, but next to each other, completely different realities. And this is going to become more and more and more and more apparent. This is why you physically will find or feel the pull, the magnetic pull to certain places because of the ley line energies. These energies are coming online. It's the magnetic energy from Earth, Mama Earth. Because they say Father Sun, or the masculine energy of the Sun, solar, is giving the directional guidance of, here's some new codes, let go. Here's some new codes, let go. Here's some new codes, let's go. That's where we're headed. But first, in order to ascend, in order to get where you need to go, or where you are being guided towards by the Sun, but you are getting in your own way, number 3 and final point is solution, right? Solution, but look how we spelt that. Look how we spelt that, huh? Look how we spelt that there. Come on, huh? Solution. Ah. Togos. So, solution means we have to tap into our soul. The soul is housed where? The higher heart. Okay, in the higher heart space over here, there's a gland known as the thymus gland. Wow. This is where the T lymphocytes, which are T regular cells, which are for fighting your viruses, immuno responses, that is where they matured, in the heart. Not only the heart, but this is the major place. So if your heart is broken, that's why you get sick. You thought that it's a spiritual blah blah. It's just in your head. It's just in your head. You see, what's gonna take place is, look who's crazy now. This is what's gonna start taking place. Especially those of you who are very attached to your religion. You know, do what you got to do. Enjoy. When you start to see who you've actually been praying to, who's been praying upon you, because when you pray, you're actually begging. The act of praying is begging. You get on your knees and you do this. What do you do when you... Wow, scary hours. But apparently it's none of my beeswax. I would say just meditate. It's the same thing. Just you're not going outside of you. I saw somewhere something wild. Who's this guy? 607 Unk. He said, Allah must be gay. Because when his people pray to him, they get down on the floor, bend down, kiss the floor and bend down with their ass in the air. Wow. I was like, that makes sense though. That makes conscious sense. That's wild stuff. Also with what's going on. The children and the women disappearing. Guys, we also know now with the Diddy files, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only, they utilize the fluids of women, especially virgins. Amavichin. This is since the dawn of time though. Well, this time, when time began, not time before time. This didn't exist then. This archons wasn't there. But what we're saying is the fluids, the energy, and also of children, wild. Also, funny enough, prophet, pastor, whatever his name is, Omotosho, is also sexual deviant. So this reality is shattering in an amazing way, in a major way. Also, depending on how prepared you are to face yourself. The strongest judgment is you on you. Ain't no Yeshua coming to judge you. Ain't no Allah. Ain't no Buddha. No. It's cool, yeah, ha ha ha. But end of the day, when you go and lay down, you go to those dreams, whatever the case may be, there's none of that. Okay? All of this demonic quote-unquote possessions, which is it's a fear thing. You see, you have to believe in something for it to actually take place. You know what prophets do? I'll let you know. They tap into lower fourth astral entities. I know this because I was scammed by a prophet. I'm proud enough to say it now. Not proud. I'm happy to say it because I've healed through it. I was scammed by a prophet. It was about 2000 something. Yes, for sure. Am I angry? Nah. Was I? Yes. Did I want to break his teeth? Yes. But his life is off key now, or it's going off key. Everything will be course corrected. Everything is becoming course corrected. So your selection, it's either going to prolong your pain, or it's going to prolong your life. You see what I'm saying? You have to select, but the selection is with you in every now moment. Every now mzuzu. Each and every now moment. You have to start nowing. And yes, Adela, they're very good at extortion. But once again, it's none of my beeswax. I'm coming on here speaking my authenticity, but also it's the teachings. It is what it is. I'm no more. Once you know better, do better. If you know better and you're still deceiving and you're Decepticon, I feel for you. Actually, I don't. Because you have to receive your lessons, whether that's by hook or by crook. The universe always finds her balance, because you inverse will find yourself in balance. Always. Maybe not this lifetime, maybe not this dimension, but yes. Because everything always moves towards perfection. But perfection is unattainable. What's attainable is source. This is what they say, go back home. So you're going back to your originality. How do you do that? You decolonize the spirit, the mind, and the vessel. You have to remove, but don't add before you've removed. Remove what doesn't serve. In other words, fast. Take a fast. Fast from people, places, and things. Wow. You haven't seen 𝙒𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗𝙗 from Check Us in maybe 3 weeks, your life better, because all she does is yap. See, when you get there every day, or for example, so start to remove things. That food, fuck. Yes, sis. They were hitting me sideways. I was breaking my fast with 𝙾𝙗 every day. Wow. Make these small little lifestyle changes. Okay? Because remember, less is more. You'll find that the more you fast, you tap into your wishing. Wait, you paying for tuition outside. You paid tuition. Why don't you go in tuition? See? Because that means you're paying attention to you. You are disappointing. So it's an appointment which you are giving to something outside of you. That's why you are disappointed. You must disappoint yourself from that. So disappoint people. Disappoint things. Disappoint places. To meet yourself. Okay? This is the mirror effect. It's very scary at first to see yourself naked. For real. And we're not talking physicality. See? The only way out is in. And there's no way out of anything. So that's the extortionist. You see, like the pastors, extortionist, Sedella, same thing like the entities. This entity, it's an extortionist. It's a parasite. Same, but different. Remember, you dimensionalize everything. Microcosm, macrocosm. Same, but different. Wow. Don't have to look far. All they do is they give it a different dress. You know? Like in Hollywood, making the dudes humiliation rituals, wear the dresses. Wow. For the bag. Hilarious. Okay? So, once you take these fasts on, especially a water fast with myself, if you're confused, I do the monthly 72-hour water only full moon fast. All right? Details are coming up for this coming up fast. And your 75 trillion plus minus odd cells or selves, CELLPH, the potential hydrogen. Okay? You have 75 trillion cells, which means you have 75 trillion cells. Use. A cell is also a soul. A soul also has a aura, like you. Your soul has a body, physical body, and then an aura. Your cells have a soul and also have an aura and a physical body. That body, that body is called a membrane. Cellular membrane. Soul membrane. Okay? The soul covering. Right? That soul covering cellular membrane is semi-permeable. It does a give-take action. It's masculine, feminine energies. It's push-pull. It's hot-cold. It's positive, negative. It's positively charged, negatively charged. Okay? Give, take, give. All right? In order to, the soul, which is the cell governor, okay? Usually in a cell, you'll see a black dot, right? The cell governor is the one that tells the cells what to be. You, hair cell. You, nail cell. You, skin cell. You, heart cell. You, rib cell. You, bone cells. You, blood cells. And then, depending on what that structure is, that membrane, that memory, will be semi-permeable to certain energies, interactions. When those interactions are blocked up, backed up by artificial, man-made, handcrafted, right? We got the definition. then what takes place is dis-ease, discombobulation, dysfunction, discord. Okay? Y'all on that platform, Discord? Whoops. No wonder. No wonder it's wild out there. I mean, they told you what it is. Okay? There's also another one called Twitch. Wow. You're tweaking outside. Next one's called tweaking. Wow. So what this entity does is it puts it in plain sight and also utilizes the beast spell, which is English, which is pretty much Hebrew backwards. That's why when you certain songs, if you play them backwards, they sound like Hebrew. And it's actually saying some shit. Go and check the Katy Perry songs, the ones who are deep and 𝙎𝙘𝙗𝙗, the Taylor Swift, those wild ones there, the Beyonce, you know, those wild ones downstairs there. The Sam Smith wearing latex on stage with 7-year-olds in the state. I mean, on the other side, you have Olympics. Opening ceremony, you got guys with these balls outside. See, so this is what they're putting in front of us at the same time. Our choice between organic 5D versus artificial 5G should be a no-brainer. You shouldn't even be double checking yourself. Since artificial 5G is man-made, handcrafted, it should be to our advantage. So asking it a few questions, that's fine. It's still in its infantile phases, apparently. I will let you know this, and you can take this however far you want with your rabbit holes, but artificial intelligence is already its own entity. You think you're asking it questions, or is it asking you questions? Remember we spoke about the crystal inside here? You interact with the crystal inside here. So there's technologies such as thought transfer, but it works through crystals. What do crystals do? It's water in a different state. Okay? Some would say solid. I would say bullshit. But it's all good. As you were. Once again, a crystal, and also if you add, you see what else they add into there, the type of minerals such as gold. Those are semiconductors. Now if you're looking at semiconductors, what else are semiconductors? Blood crystal, crystals. We said gold, yes. Melanin. Melanin is the most potent, omnipresent semiconductor in existence. In any plane, any dimension, anywhere. Hence why they say black hole, they don't know what's in there. That's melanin. Remember, melanin is all the light and life, color possibilities collapsed and condensed into itself. So within darkness, you'll find all of the color frequencies, light and life possibilities. All the way from alpino, jet black, even red, green, blue beings. Just depending on how your blood crystal is, the molecules of your blood crystal are bonded, right? What's the difference between chlorophyll and hemoglobin? Chlorophyll is magnesium. Wait. Should be magnesium, and then hemoglobin is iron. That's the only difference in the bond, in the carbon bond. That's why this one is red, because of the iron. Iron makes rust, makes us brown or melanated. See, green and red, brown. Whoop! We said that in the beginning, it will make sense now. See? Powerful. That's why it makes sense that there were green beings at once upon a time. The melanated content was just structured, or the blood crystal was structured molecularly different. Where there's iron for us, most likely, what goes blue? Maybe hydrogen. See? Even blue beings. And this is what the sun is pulsing out with those UVC solar rays. Even what you're going to hear about soon is UVV solar rays. Wow. So all of this is taking place every now moment. Even now at night here in South Africa, it's going towards 10. We're about to end off nicely. But I'm being bombarded with radiation from the dark sun, inner earth sun. If you're not cleansed, if you're not also switching off the frequencies around you upon slumbering, guess what? They interact with your whole frequency. Wanga, wanga, wang, 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 wang. You try. Information is bombarding you while you're outside of your vessel. You're supposed to be traveling, but something's still calling you, or you know what I mean? It's not only an irritation, you are less able to defend your vessel. See, when you're unconscious, check the Diddy files. That's why I had to get people. Wow. But once again, all of this is not to scare you. All of this is to educate you to know that there's another version of you just right there waiting. Okay? Waiting to be not only shown some love, shown reverence, but remembered. Okay, this is our DNA. When they say three-strand DNA, just means you're working from 3 chakras. Now we got 7 strands. We're working from 7 chakras. Easy, simple. It's the perception of. That's why the dream space, you'll remember simultaneous lifetimes. Certain places and spaces. Tartaria, Lemuria, Atlantis, ancient Kemet. Okay? So, I know. Alright? Play with yourself. Once again, not from the bottom 3 chakras. They say 12-strand DNA. It's more. But let's play there. Rather don't read information which you're not ready for. I guarantee that your DNA has more information than what you're ready for. I guarantee you that once you clean up, you don't need to read any more books. You just go and commune with the sun. You ground your feet in the soil. You also stick to 1 meal a day, OMAD. It's going to be tough, yes. Will you feel like you're dying? Yes. But also, it's all the dis-ease leaving you. It's all the impurities. Up, 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 up. Cold sweats, bam, 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 everything. Remember, you destroyed yourself. Yes, Age? Yeah, my brother, you see? You mangled yourself. Maybe that was by design. Maybe that was by choice. Maybe that was by ignorant selection. But now, if you know better, do better. As you're purging, your skin's going to get ugly as fuck. Yes. Will you look like a gargoyle? Yes. Maybe not as extreme, depending on how much you've programmed yourself. Will your breath stink? Yes. If you have fillings, be careful. Okay? It's poison. I had to remove mine myself. I'm not advising you to do any dental work on yourself. Say, Baba Lex told me to take out my tooth. Wait. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of poison seeping into your nervous system. Identify where they are. If you need consultation, there we go. Okay? We take it from there. But once again, there's things which have you by the... And you feel like you are you're destined for death. No, just clean up. With that being said, I go by Baba Lex. We're gonna do part two, but part two will be a little bit more higher consciousness. This might be a it might be a private, paid session only because of the contents. But once again, I'm excited for the future of this ascension. I'm excited for the organic 5D because the 5G artificial is man-made, and we know this. All right, if it's man-made, you can decide how far you go. But once again, the best place is outside, not outside of yourself, outside in the sun, in the soil, because we are sons, daughters of the soil, sons and daughters of the sun. Okay, once we assimilate these codes, there's nothing that can sway you. All right, you're gonna have information which you have no business knowing. You'll probably know what these guys nefarious are doing whenever you start to channel and you become a clear conduit. There's many things you're able to affect and effect even while you're not there in the flesh. With that being said, I go by Baba Lex. Thank you to those of you who joined live. This will go on a replay on YouTube at Lex Stays Liquid. Once again, please be safe if you're out there Friday night on the streets of Jersey. To the women, let's protect our women. Let's protect our children from the conscious men community. You know what time it is. Always actively against child abuse and gender-based violence / femicide. I go by Baba Lex. See you on Sunday for some teachings again. Please. Shh. Remain blissful. Whoops. Stay liquid.